Welcome to our video on JavaScript network automation project, in which we're going to ping a sequence of IP addresses to check whether they are still in our connectivity, basically. And this is going to be a start of a series of small scripts and projects that we'll be doing across multiple domains to help quickly do these small utility projects through which you can understand better and hopefully use these projects on your own side to get some utility out of. So with that, we're going to start this project, right? So first we need to open the console, right? To start this project off, give me a second, terminal. Let's just create a new file here, discard changes. I think a simple online JavaScript platform IDE to set our project up on, and that's probably the most easiest way you can create a simple JavaScript application. So see, let's create a new file here in JavaScript, which is something we'll call, give me a second, we'll call this file ping network.js. Let me create file name, and then we'll start working on the file in question. So now that we have the file here, let me get this. Yep. So now that we have that file here, let's close the web view. We don't need the web view for this particular project. And let's just start typing the code. So then we need to first we need to basically import the ping library in JavaScript. To do that, we do it right at the top of our JavaScript file, and we use the simple JavaScript syntax to import the ping library. Once we have the ping library, we need to now set up a list of IP addresses that we need to ping, basically the IP addresses that we test and see whether we can connect to those IP addresses or not. And to do that, we'll create a simple array in JavaScript, which would again be a constant value. So create that file. Let's open that up, and now we're going to just write down the array of IP addresses that we're going to use, and I'm just going to copy paste them because we already have that array, so like those IP addresses sorted out. So instead of wasting time and writing the IP addresses one by one, let's just get those IP addresses out of the way. Now that the IP address has been listed out, then we need to pick up our next piece of pseudocode that tells us exactly what we need to do in JavaScript next. So we need to create a function that pings each IP address, right? So we'll create an asynchronous function. An asynchronous function basically in JavaScript is a specialized function in which basically that function can keep on running long-term tasks without interrupting any other tasks that might need to be taken away. So basically, generally speaking, programs work from top to bottom. They run the code on the top before getting to the code at bottom. When you have an async function, it starts running, but the program moves on to the core block of code below that while it's running concurrently. So that is what an asynchronous function is in JavaScript. So first we'll create a simple async function in JavaScript to ping the IPs. So we type that function out, async function ping IPs, and then we'll put in the argument, which is going to be the IP addresses that we do. So let's add that as argument. Then within that, we're going to use a for loop to iterate over all of these IP addresses. So let's set that for loop up. We open in another curly brace enclosure, and then within that, we're going to use the try and catch blocks to basically ping those IP addresses. So first we'll set up the try block. Within the try block, we're going to first get write down our first check for the first attempt to try and see if we can reach the IP. So we're going to write the code that allows us to do that. We're going to write const s it ping.promise.probe. Oh, emits are basically support for HTML. Then we basically write down the arguments for this ping.promise.probe. Comma, curly braces, then and we'll add colons because that is the necessary syntax for JavaScript at the end of every line. So with that done, then we need to work on an if statement that sees if the response is alive or not, and based on that, print messages on the console. So after that, after the try block, after the constant of response that we're trying to get, we basically write the if statement. If s dot alive, which means we're checking if the response was alive from the previous res constant that we tried to test out. Curly braces to write the JavaScript code, then we console.log the message that we want. We print on the console. We print that message. Is reachable. Then we go to this line, set up the else statement. Within the else statement, we console.log another message. Let's just get that message over instead of typing all of that message out. I think at this point, we understand to a large degree what we need to do. After that, we need to have a catch message at this portion because we're again still in the try catch blocks right now. So the catch block, we need to catch an error. Is the previous, previous try block raised an error. With that out of the way, we need to console.log within the catch block telling us that we have an error pinging that. And then we can paste the test cases. We need to test this code out, right? So basically, let's let me close this console portion. And I think at this point we just ping the IP addresses using the where we call this function. Basically, we call this. I think at this point I've realized, like, you know, we're using the wrong environment for this, so we need to switch our environment and move on to you know, clean JavaScript environment and set that up for this project. We've already copied the script there, so we're just going to paste this on the clean JavaScript script area and test our application out basically. So we paste the code here, code that I just sorted out. Yeah, let's install them. Or you can use npm install for different modules, but as I'm using this environment, that is set up. So basically, right now, we have error pinging these IP addresses because we can't access those IP addresses at all. So at least in the local network of this JavaScript playground that we're using. But potentially it depends on the network you're using, right? But potentially, which it means is that this script is working fine, and we are going to wrap this project up on creating a simple network engineering automation or using JavaScript on how to ping different IP addresses automatically. With that, we're going to wrap this video up and see you in our next video. And please remember, if you took any value out of this video, to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.